The scoop on the bottom? It's not big enough. I made the scoop on the top. Let's get started. Hey, it's Matt from Black Coal Woodworking. Welcome back. This is the blank I'm using. It's just an offcut of a 2x4, and I'm doing a bit of an experiment. I want to see if I can make pine look nice. I also want to see if I can make a scoop that holds the right amount of coffee beans for me, so I don't have to take 2 to 3 scoops of beans in that little scoop I showed. As you can see, I'm using the bandsaw to rough out the dimensions that I marked out on the piece of wood. Now it's time to go to the lathe. I'm using a screw chuck to get this thing on there, and a 1/2-inch spindle gouge. I should have knocked more of the corners off at the bandsaw, but this is my first time making this kind of scoop, so next time I'd probably do that. The basic process at the lathe now is to make the sides of the scoop round. And I can't go all the way up. Obviously, with that handle there, I can only go up to the handle. If you keep that bevel firmly locked, you get a nice shiny surface, which to me means far less sanding. Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't sand this one at all. This again is an experiment in color and in size. Almost there. I am definitely a sucker for well-cut wood, especially when I can see the shine. Makes me kind of happy. Alright, time to flip this thing around. I'm using my flat scraper and pushing straight in. Now the flat scraper is located just above center. That way I'm cutting mainly with the left edge and obviously the bit of the middle, but that left edge being above center means that it won't get pushed around. I can cut straight in. It works way better that way. Here I flip to my beating and parting tool. Kind of acts as a negative rake scraper. Mainly for me, it's about the size that it is. I could fit it in there nicely. Alright, now using one of my daughter's old shoes, I cleaned off the sanding disc. And this part, even though I don't like sanding, is a critical part of this scoop's process. And I'm just going to whittle away at the corners until they're gone, and blend them into the rest of the side, and then I have a nice little scoop. A little more shaping, and then I'm done. On with the color. That is my ebonizing fluid, which is the remains of my tools when I've ground them at the grinder to sharpen. So I put 2 coats of this stuff on this wood, and I finally got it to that color. After this fluid, I covered the whole thing in shellac, which is like a candy coating. Here's the test. I want 14 grams. And 14 grams fits perfectly into that little scoop. Thanks for watching.